Hey guys, welcome to another game. I am Aaron, this is War3 TV, and the match we have today is from the Fit for Gaming Solo League Division 1 between White and Nerdy, aka WaN, the Undead player, and WarchiefRich, the Night Elf player. So let's go ahead and jump right into this game. You can see that this game is on Nomad Isles. If you're unfamiliar, Nomad Isles is a 3-player map. It's relatively new to the map pool. It's really only been popular within the last year or so, which I think is very refreshing. Watching these same maps all the time is one of the reasons why I think a lot of people left Warcraft 3. The map pool just didn't change too much, but Nomad Isles is a fairly new addition, and we have WarchiefRich, the British Night Elf player, spawning here on the bottom of this map, going for an standard build here. He's going Altar of Elders. He is putting down his Ancient of War to do some AOW creeping. He will most likely get a Demon Hunter. However, I see a lot of Warden play on this map as well, so he may decide to get a Warden. Law Lyot, one of the players that goes Warden always on this map and fast creeps. But WarchiefRich likes to go Demon Hunter, so we will most likely see that from him, but it could be a Warden. At the left side of the map, though, we do have WaN, who has done an Altar and Crypt build here, so he is going Ghouls in the beginning. WaN is one of the European players that has possibly the highest APM. He has like 350 average APM. And he's able to control these ghouls very nicely. I know APM doesn't mean everything, but he does have very nice control, and he has good awareness for these ghouls, so he typically is one of the best players when it comes to doing ghoul pushes against Night Elf. A lot of players now deciding to go Fiends against Night Elf, but WaN is good at going ghouls, and it looks like what he's going to be doing here. He did get his Death Knight, and an Archer coming out at the Ancient of War for WarchiefRich. If I didn't mention it before, WaN, the Undead player, is from Germany, and WarchiefRich is from the United Kingdom. So 2 European players here going head-to-head in the Division 1 for the Fit for Gaming Solo League. The first Archer is out on the map now for WarchiefRich, so we will see some Ancient of War creeping, and he did decide to go Demon Hunter. The Demon Hunter is almost finished. He will basically get instant level 2 here after this creep camp goes down. So a good job, good idea here for WarchiefRich, but the Death Knight is out for WaN, so maybe he will be able to do some damage with his harassment here. He has decided to just go instantly with the Unholy Aura. It doesn't look like he had scouted the Demon Hunter, so if it was Warden, he could have gone Coil first, but he just instantly goes Unholy Aura here, figuring that WarchiefRich probably went Demon Hunter. So he's going to try to get up here and try to do some creep jacking, but he is a little bit too slow, so WarchiefRich has already cleared out this camp. He's 80% of the way to level 2. Some skeletons coming out now for WaN, trying to do a little bit of harassment here on these archers. He does have Dust as well, so once Night does get here, he will be able to take down maybe some of these archers. He is using the skeleton to kill this Wisp here. WarchiefRich not paying attention, so he actually loses 1 Wisp already. So a good job there by WaN of catching that Wisp off guard, and WarchiefRich about to lose another Wisp, so he loses 2 Wisps. That Wisp kind of just stalled out there. It looked like he was going for a detonate, but he wasn't able to get it in time. So WaN with 1 Ghoul here. I guess that's what saw the Demon Hunter in the beginning. This 1 Ghoul trying to do some more damage to the Wisp. So WaN already taking down 2 Wisps already, doing a good job here of this early pressure against WarchiefRich. WarchiefRich is killing a couple of skeletons, however, so he is getting very close to level 2. This second skeleton about to go down, so he is just a couple of more skeleton kills away from getting level 2 already on his Demon Hunter. And now Dust has gone off for WaN, so this Archer could be in trouble here. Another Wisp about to go down. WaN doing a really good job of moving his skeletons into different positions, keeping them split up away from his Demon Hunter, forcing Rich to either let a Wisp die or detonate it and only kill 1 skeleton. But this skeleton going down here will give WarchiefRich level 2. So WaN trying to do a really good job of harassment here. He's able to kill a couple of Wisps, but he did give level 2 to the Demon Hunter already. And it doesn't look like any mana burns had gone off against the Demon Hunter, so I'm not sure what WarchiefRich's decision making was regarding that. I don't know why he didn't mana burn them. Maybe he didn't skill mana burn.
Forces are under attack.
We have some ghouls coming now for WaN, so WaN going to do an early ghoul push here. As I mentioned before, he has very high APM, he has good micro, and he's able to do really damaging ghoul pushes in the beginning, something that WaN and Lucifer are really the only 2 popular players right now, I think, doing that type of push. Most undead players going Fiends all the time, especially the Chinese undead players. And the Ancient of War will go down. It's surrounded here by all of these ghouls. WaN does have one dust left, so these archers need to be careful for Rich, but it looks like Rich will be able to try to do some damage here. At the same time, a Wisp scouting outside of the undead base, almost tier 2 for WaN. He has put up his crypt, so he may transition into Fiends or Gargs later, but he only has one crypt it looked like, so he probably won't be doing Gargs after he gets to tier 2. Hunter's Hall going down for Rich, so this is a big kill here for WaN. It will be able to delay the tier 2 building production for WarchiefRich and not give him the ability to get the night vision that the Night Elf is so well known for. And once again, WaN continuing to do some pressure here. He needs to be careful with all of these ghouls. Looks like he saved all the ghouls so far, but one of them getting very low. He's sending a couple of them back to his base. So WaN trying to do some harassment, but WarchiefRich has excellent control over these wisps. As you can see in his gold mine, all of these low wisps were getting put in the mine. And actually a 4-unit surround here, so 4 archers able to surround this Death Knight. So amazing play there by Rich. He does have Moonwells, he has Hide, and he will be able to keep these archers alive. So WaN getting surrounded, he doesn't have a TP, so really good job there by WarchiefRich, and he's chasing down these ghouls with his Demon Hunter. So WarchiefRich taking what could have been a bad push with all of those ghouls and turning it into a huge advantage. He kills 2 ghouls, he gets a 4 archer surround on this Death Knight. This Death Knight will go down, the Demon Hunter will be already over halfway to level 3, and the Death Knight will be dead. So a Slaughterhouse going down for WaN, so it looks like he's going to decide to go straight to tier 3, add some Abominations, Destroyers, Fiends, things like that. So the Death Knight does go down, so an amazing surround there by WarchiefRich, something that WaN definitely wasn't expecting. Had he been able to keep that Death Knight alive, he could have ran it towards the ghouls and used Aura to keep those 2 ghouls that died alive, so a huge advantage there for Rich getting that surround. It really changed the pace of the early game. It looked like with those 2 wisps going down that WaN had done quite a bit of damage with his early push, but now WarchiefRich turned it into a huge advantage for himself. Now the Panda is out for WarchiefRich, which he will probably use this time that the Death Knight is down to just continue to go ahead and creep. He gets level 3 on his Demon Hunter, and WarchiefRich will probably try to level up this Panda as fast as he can, knowing that there was a big delay after the Death Knight had died. And now WaN is forced to do some creeping himself. He can't really afford to do any pushes right now since the Panda is out. These ghouls won't do very much damage against the Panda. Panda Breath of Fire just dealing way too much damage. And now WarchiefRich using his Demon Hunter here to try to scout out and harass this undead army. Now he's using some mana burns. And a surround here on the illusion. I'm not sure why WaN decided to surround the illusion. He saw the mana burn go off from this Demon Hunter, but he decided to surround the other one anyway. I guess he was just annoyed. And the Demon Hunter, or the Death Knight here, will continue to creep with the Demon Hunter on them. Mana burn going off on this Obsidian statue. Back in WarchiefRich's base, he does have 1 Ancient of Lore going up. 2nd almost finished. Ancient of Wonders as well, so he's going straight to tier 3. So we will most likely see some Dryads and Bears here. Pretty standard stuff from the Night Elf. WarchiefRich is known for his standard play. He doesn't do anything too crazy like Star Shape or anything like that, but he is really good at standard Night Elf. He's a very strong player, showing that already after getting that 4 archer surround on the Death Knight. He needs to be careful here, however. The Death Knight was able to almost get a surround there on the Demon Hunter. So the Lich out now, doing some Frost Nova on this Demon Hunter, trying to give him some time to get it surrounded. But WarchiefRich having great control, not losing his Demon Hunter. He's getting a little risky here while he creeps up with his Panda, so WarchiefRich trying to do some harassment while he creeps, trying to keep this undead from being able to creep as well. Denying that level 3 on the Death Knight will be very important as the game continues to go on, especially when these two make a larger encounter. If the Death Knight stays at level 2 for much longer, he won't be able to coil up his units, especially when Bears and Dryads start to come out. So Panda already getting close to level 3, closer to level 3 than the Death Knight already, and the Lich barely over level 1, so not much experience on the undead heroes yet. About to have a level 3 Panda and a level 3 Demon Hunter for WarchiefRich, so WaN needs to really get some creeping done on this Death Knight. He continues to try to, but the Demon Hunter is always there, always ready with these mana burns, always trying to harass the undead here. And at the same time, we do have the Night Elf army marching towards where this undead is creeping. So mana burns continue to go off on this Obsidian statue, not allowing that statue to heal up the undead units or regenerate mana. So WarchiefRich just doing a really good job here of this harassment, and the Night Elf army is here, so a big creep jack coming in here. WaN is sandwiched between the Demon Hunter and the rest of the Night Elf army. He needs to be very careful. He's trying to finish off this creep, but the Panda is here, so the Panda could steal this creep and deny further experience to the Death Knight, and that is what happens. So the Panda actually gets level 3. The Death Knight still only at level 2 and barely over level 1 for the Lich. So a really good job of map control here by Rich, not letting the Undead creep up very much. Now the Undead is going to have to creep yet another camp to try to get level 3 on his Death Knight. He pulls out his first Destroyer, and the Demon Hunter, however, has left the Undead for now, so Rich not going to be able to stop this creep camp from happening, so WaN may be able to pick up level 3 on his Death Knight here. Well, not quite. So 2/3 of the way there on his Death Knight, the Lich is almost level 2. However, if you look at the Night Elf, you do see a level 3 Demon Hunter and a level 3 Panda already. And once again, WaN is going to be trying to creep. He really needs level 3 here on his Death Knight. Back in his base, you can see more Slaughterhouse units coming out, so a statue coming out, and some more Fiends. So he has transitioned into Fiends and Destroyers here. However, the Night Elf has quite a few Bears and Dryads already created, and the Demon Hunter continuing to do some more harassment, and the Death Knight still not able to get level 3. So Rich really putting on a lot of pressure throughout this entire game. After that Death Knight went down, and just doing a really good job of denying this Undead the ability to creep. He's keeping map control. This Undead has basically been on the run the entire time, trying to run around the map, find a creep camp, but the Night Elf has just always been there, always doing some sort of harassment or damage, and so the Death Knight unable to get level 3, the Lich still only at level 1. So WarchiefRich really doing a nice job here of map control and harassment, continuing to mana burn these obsidian statues.
A player's force.
Typically you see mana burns going off on the heroes, but WarchiefRich deciding that mana burning these statues the entire time could be a better idea. Now Demon Hunter does have Orb, able to take down this Destroyer, or at least do some damage to it. And once again, the Death Knight unable to finish off this large creep in this camp, so he's still only level 2. It looks like he will force the Night Elf back for just a little bit and try to get that creep killed. He's really trying to drag these turtles over here so he can finish off that creep. But the creep is still, and we can check the experience, and the Death Knight didn't get the experience again, so still not level 3 on the Death Knight. WarchiefRich using Breath of Fire at a perfect time, able to steal the creep once again, and the Undead left without any experience on his heroes, still stuck at level 2 and 2/3. So WarchiefRich doing a really good job here, stealing these camps, not letting the Undead deny, and that's really been the entire matchup so far. It's been WarchiefRich running around, not letting the Undead creep, creeping up his own heroes, and denying the experience of the Undead, something that the Undead really needs, especially in these late games. When you think of Undead, you think of their ability to nuke down units. With a level 2 Death Knight, you won't be able to do that at all. So WaN really needs to try to creep up here, but WarchiefRich, knowing that he was able to get the big creep kill on the big turtle there, he's actually ran off to a different camp, and he crept out the shop next to WaN. Once again, WaN won't be able to get experience from there, since WarchiefRich has already gotten there. Breath of Fire going off on these ghouls, they're all very low. So WaN trying to check out that shop to see if he could get the creep there, but he found the Night Elf, and the Night Elf doing a lot of damage with Breath of Fire. And now WarchiefRich, it looks like he will run back and try to creep up more camps, maybe pick up some items, and always stay ahead of the Undead. At the natural expansion for WarchiefRich, we can see he did put up a Tree of Life. WaN thinking he might want to try a red camp, but he does see the Night Elf there, decides against it. A mana burn going off on the Death Knight, not doing too much damage there, not stealing very much mana, he didn't have much left. Attacking this Destroyer here, the Night Elf once again trapping the Undead in his base. So very nice awareness. WarchiefRich has a Sentry Ward here, so he can keep eyes on this Undead at all times, and he's able to just kind of run around these trees, anticipate where the Undead is probably going, and really just deny creep camps.
A player's force,
and it looks like once again he will try to do this, but it may be a little bit too late for Rich to get down here before a lot of these creeps are finished. So a Frostworm now coming out for WaN, and it looks like he will pick up level 3 finally off of these last few turtles. So he actually barely gets level 3 on his Death Knight. Rich wasn't able to get there for a creep jack in time. Looked like he was going to try, but decided against it at the last moment. So WaN finally picking up level 3 on his Death Knight after 15 minutes of this game. And now he's going to go ahead and creep one of these larger camps here since he has his Frostworm out. A couple of Destroyers, this camp will go down pretty low, so he's going to try to make up some experience that he had been missing out throughout this entire game. So he does pick up level 3 on his Lich, so a lot of experience gained right there. So a good job of WaN to just go ahead and push through and try to creep up that red camp before the Night Elf caught up with him. And it seemed to pay out since he has leveled up his Lich to level 3, so we're on the same levels of the heroes, the Night Elf heroes, with a bit more experience, but WaN making up some ground that he had lost throughout the early to middle part of these games. But if we do look at the Night Elf base, he is at 65 food already. He does have an expansion, and the Undead only at 60 food. He does have one Frostworm out, and possibly a second on the way. No, he is not building another Frostworm. So right now, only one Frostworm. He is at 60 food, but he only has one base. So while the Night Elf was running around denying experience for the Undead, the Night Elf was able to put up an expansion, break 50 food, and build a really big army here. But right now it looks like Rich has just been trying to run around and find the Undead once again. So he did spend quite a bit of time here running around the map, not doing too much of anything. The Demon Hunter running out in front of his army, he needs to be very careful there. The Panda staffs him away instantly, and now a bear being focused down. But it looks like WaN will decide to run away right here. And he doesn't have the greatest of positions. Coil going off on that Frostworm, and a Panda being forced to use an invulnerability potion, and the Frostworm actually goes down. So WaN not paying attention there, losing his Frostworm, so a big mistake there from WaN. He's trying to kill this Panda. There's no staff on the Demon Hunter, but he does pass away the town portal, so the Panda does get away. A Dryad going down, and one bear not TPing away with the rest of the army. The Death Knight already very low, so he can't really engage right now with this Night Elf. He picks up 2 Goblin Sappers, but he did lose his Frostworm there, so he killed a Dryad. He forced a TP, but he lost his Frostworm. He does have these 2 Goblin Sappers, which will be able to take down this main if they don't get caught here, but the Night Elf army is running between the Undead and this Tree of Life, so he can't use these Sappers right now. And now we have the Undead just kind of running north on the map. The Shade going down, so nice Sentry Ward usage there by WarchiefRich, able to see that Shade and take it down. And the Undead now actually TPing away. Sapper's going off. A Dryad sees the Sapper but doesn't kill it, and WarchiefRich loses his Tree of Life. He tried to repair it, wasn't able to get there in time. But whenever the Undead actually TP'd, his Lich didn't TP with him, so his Lich is already caught out here, away from the rest of his army. It looks like this Lich is going to go down. I don't know if he can make it before the Death Knight gets over here. So the Death Knight on his way, however the Demon Hunter does have boots, and it looked like the Demon Hunter had gotten stalled there for a second, and the Lich, 1 mana burn, a 28 mana burn, actually killing the Lich there, so a bit of a lucky mistake by WarchiefRich, or a lucky mistake for WarchiefRich. The mistake made there by WaN whenever he TP'd out with his army. He didn't TP his Lich. And so WarchiefRich picking up some more experience, delaying the Undead even further. He did lose his expansion, being forced to rebuild it, and it looks like the Undead will go and try to take down that expansion once again. However, WarchiefRich is creeping up a red camp here. He will continue to add experience to his heroes while the Lich is dead. Getting very close to level 5 already on the Demon Hunter. The expansion is being forced to be cancelled here by WarchiefRich, and WaN doing a good job of not letting that expansion get up. So a lot happening in all areas of the map here, but WarchiefRich deciding to try to defend right here, not let this expansion go down too many more times, but he did try to put it up, and the Undead army, actually he didn't even cancel it, so the Undead actually killed the Tree of Life here with the Wisp still inside, giving some experience to the Death Knight, and a very nice TP there by the Undead player, so WaN saving all of his units as they were red. Looked like one of them might have gone down, but the TP went off at the perfect time. But if you look at the items here, the Panda has a Scroll of Restoration, which is an amazing item. It restores 300 hit points and 150 mana to all of the units within area of the Panda, so an excellent item. And he is going to creep up this second red camp here, and where he will also pick up another good item. We'll find out what it is in just a second. Polymorph going off on a bear. This creep's trying to do some damage, but the Night Elf army is huge, able to easily run right through this camp. So we have a... what item did he pick up? He picked up a Potion of Restoration, so the Demon Hunter will basically be unable to be killed. At the same time, we have WaN running through here trying to take out this red camp, the spawn point camp, and add some more experience. This Maiden of Pain doing quite a bit of damage to the Undead army, actually. So both players continuing to creep. He picks up a Book of the Dead, so not really a great item, especially since so many Dryads are around. the Book of the Dead will be kind of worthless. Back in Reign of Chaos, that was a better item, especially because you could get it on Lost Temple very easily, and there wasn't a lot that could stop it in the other game. You'd be forced to run and buy this Wand of Dispel in Reign of Chaos. But here in the Frozen Throne, against all of these Dryads, the Book of the Undead is not that great of an item. And now, more creeping going on for Rich. He does have his Demon Hunter in here, taking away some of the experience from the Panda, but it doesn't matter. He's able to pick up level 5 on his Demon Hunter, level 5 on his Panda, so the hero experience definitely goes to the Night Elf player. The army advantage as well. As you can see, there are only 3 Fiends here and 2 Destroyers against a level 4 Death Knight and a level 3 Lich. And then we have this massive undead Night Elf army with these very high level heroes. So WarchiefRich basically controlling the entire map this game. He is putting up a Tree of Life now at the red gold mine here. He gave up on putting it at his natural expansion since it was cancelled so many times, but he is putting it up once again. Now it looks like the Night Elf may be running towards the undead base to try to do some damage now that he knows he has a huge army advantage. In the undead base, you can see that there are just a few Fiends, a few Destroyers, and the Frostworm, 2 Frostworms queued up, so WaN waiting until he had quite a bit of gold and deciding to queue up 2 Frostworms at the same time.
Are under attack.
And so it looks like he may have had a little bit of macro problems. He has so many units queued up in these buildings. If he can hold this Night Elf off for just a while, though, all these units will finally be added to his army. And WarchiefRich deciding to back off his Demon Hunter, kind of checking things out here. This Sentry Ward that he had placed here has finally expired. The Panda turning around, so the Night Elf army running away from the heroes of the Night Elf. And right now the heroes are just kind of camped out. WarchiefRich trying to find the Shade there, thinking that there was a Shade following the Demon Hunter. However, the Shade had actually ran past the Demon Hunter looking for expansions. So the Shade back here following the Night Elf army. The Panda couldn't kill that Shade. And Boots of Speed now added to the Panda. And the Tree of Eternity has now been moved to the natural expansion for the Night Elf player. So both players have lost their gold mines now. And WarchiefRich, the only player able to mine anything, so he went from having 0 gold mines to now instantly having 2 gold mines. And the undead having absolutely nothing. As far as gold production goes, he does have a nice army starting to be developed here. He is at 72 food. However, if you look at the Night Elf is also at 72 food, and he has 2 gold mines pumping out gold. And he has a big hero advantage here. Now the undead, knowing that he's completely out of gold, and the Night Elf does have his Tree of Eternity ready to go down, as well as his other expansion, the undead knows he has to do pretty much a final push here, try to end this game before the Night Elf is able to sit here and allow his gold to accumulate and go up to 80 or even 100 food. So the undead player bringing his entire army, even his acolytes, ready to do some damage here. He sees this Dryad out here, so this could be the last engagement. The undead player, it doesn't look like he has a TP, so this will be a huge battle should the undead decide to stay. But it looks like he's actually trying to run away. He doesn't like his position. Now he turns to engage. He tries to run away once again using 1 heal scroll, but this Panda Breath of Fire doing so much damage already. A Destroyer going down and a second Breath of Fire about to happen soon. There's a lot of orange Fiends here, and these units are just being picked away one by one. The undead trying to run away for some reason, unable to hit and run here with his army, and so Fiends keep falling down. And another Fiend about to go down. So once again, Fiends falling. And a Destroyer being focused, another Breath of Fire going off, taking down more of these Fiends. So as WaN tries to run away and do a little bit of damage to these Dryads, his entire army is starting to fall. The Archer's killing another Dryad, and the Demon Hunter already halfway over level 5, killing all of these Fiends. So the entire undead army has basically been wiped away by the Night Elf army just chasing him down. And the Demon Hunter actually using his TP. And Night Elf player TP's away. However, WaN does call a good game. There wasn't really much of anything he could do. So good game. The first game of this series does go to WarchiefRich, and we will move on to the second game from Fit for Gaming Solo League Week 1 Division 1 right after this.